The first Bionicle was okay. The second one was really mediocre. And the third one, well, it's an improvement over the second, I'll give it that, but that's about it. Bionicle 3 Web of Shadows was released in 2005, the same year as the second one, and is directed once again by Terry Shakespeare and David Mondlina. The story, if there is a story, it's about the good guys have to fight the bad guys to retrieve the Mask of Light. Yeah, that's basically what the story is, yeah. The story is nothing. I'm sorry everyone, but to me, these movies are just not very good, in my opinion. I don't hate them, they're not the worst things ever made, and if you like them, that's absolutely great. But for me, I just don't like any of them. I was once again requested by W to review this. This is the third and final film in the trilogy. And what are my thoughts? Well, like I said in the beginning, it's better than the second, but that's about it. That is pretty much about it. It is just slightly better than the second, but they both suffer from the same flaws. The third movie's story, it's just bland. It's basically nothing. It's just paper. It is as bland as paper. It's literally as entertaining as watching paint dry. It's just not a very interesting storyline. It's nothing. It's really nothing. It just felt like a waste of time, if I'm being honest. It's just not. It just feels tired. Like, it just feels like it's something you just watch, but like just to kill time. But like, it's just so dull. Yeah, it's dull. It's just not. It's not entertaining whatsoever. It's just not. It's just story. It's just so thin. It's paper. It's just not. It's not interesting to me. I don't think it's a very interesting story. I even don't think the direction is very good. It's just so simple. And well, I'm not saying, that's a bad thing, but it's just so. It's bland. That's about kind of my biggest issue. It's just not. Like I said, the story, it's simple. Bland as paper. How is the animation? The animation is okay for what it is. It's not like this groundbreaking animation, but for the time and budget, it's decent enough. I will give that credit. The characters though, oh boy, none of them, and I mean none of them, are interesting. From the villain, the good guys, everyone is just so. It's just bland. Yeah, bland. That's pretty much how I describe these movies. Bland as paper. I know I didn't say the first one was mediocre. I just thought it was okay. But at least the first one, like, I don't know, like, it felt at least somewhat enjoyable. The second and third are just so dull. They're not interesting whatsoever. The characters are just, they're bland as paper. They are just really forgettable. That's probably the problem with this trilogy. It's very forgettable in my eyes. I'm probably not going to remember it, but for me, it's just not. They're not interesting. The characters are just one word, bland. Even the soundtrack is the same. The soundtrack is just. It's not bad, but it's just not. It's not very good. Now, I don't hate this trilogy. I definitely don't think it's the worst trilogy ever made. And if you guys like it, that's absolutely great. I respect that. However, for me, I just have to be honest with myself and be honest, for the review. I just don't think it's a very interesting trilogy. I will say this is better than the second one, even if that's, a low bar, but I can at least see, I can understand why these movies could get loved. And I mean, I'm sure there are people that do love them. And I can see why, I can definitely see, I know some people may like it from nostalgia, and that's absolutely understandable. I just think they're just not for me. I just find them very forgettable, very bland, and just very dull. It's not horrible, it's not terrible, but they just don't do it for me. Bionicle 3 may be an improvement over the second one, but that doesn't mean it's very good in my eyes. It just has a bland story, bland characters, bland soundtrack, and okay animation. It's, not as good as the first one, but hey, it's better than the second. I'm going to give Bionicle 3 Web of Shadows a 5 out of 10. So, that is my review of the Bionicle Trilogy done. So thank you, W, for the request. I'm really sorry I didn't enjoy them. But I hope that, you know, I don't ruin them for you. And if you guys love them, keep loving them, because I don't want to, don't let my thoughts change your opinion. So, stay tuned for my next review, which is going to be on Ready Player One. Yes, I have it on my Netflix watch list, and I'm pretty excited to see it. I'm quite intrigued to see it. I haven't seen it before. I've heard pretty good things about it. So wait until that review, which will probably be out on the weekend. And until then, guys, skadoosh everyone, and take care.